type of thing.
Yep.
And he could tell you I spent all day yesterday.
How's your
Try
water
again.
though?
Let's try again.
What about your water?
Yeah, it didn't seem like I was giving up as much as I was taking in, to be honest. I know at one point last week, right after here, I think it was like the next day or so, I got as high as 283, and then it started going down.
Okay.
And then it went back up this morning. It was 280.2, and it was 279 yesterday.
Yeah.
So. And it was one of those, and I was like, I gotta be good, I gotta be good. You know?
Yeah.
And even at the Easter dinner, I was real surprised at my sister's, because normally when you go over there, you got potatoes and stuffing and
So
all that stuff.
the only thing you logged was your Easter dinner. Did you have anything else that day?
No, I didn't eat anything but that day.
What time was that?
That was around noonish.
Okay. Why did you decide not to have anything else?
Because I wasn't sure what all I was going to eat before I went there, and after I ate, I was like, yeah, let me check my calories, and I thought my calories were, I didn't want to take a chance of eating anything else after that point. And on the most, I think there was like 2 items out of the whole dinner that I didn't even bother touching because I knew it was completely off limits anyway. I did have a little piece of key lime pie.
And it's hard to say specifically, you know, how much true sodium you had. That's a lot of sodium for 760 calories on Easter day. Approximately 760 anyways.
Yeah, I know the ham might have been, but I had like little, about 3 pieces about that big.
Okay.
And that's all I had.
The ham obviously is going to be
outrageous in salt.
Yeah. Now, so here's the thing about that, is I would rather you still have your shakes, still have your bars, right, and have that meal and be over in calories, right, versus completely abstaining and only eating 1 meal.
Okay.
And the reason why is because it's not, well, one, it's not, long term, that's not beneficial, right, because if you get into that mindset that, okay, I'll hold all my calories to that meal so I won't eat anything, well, what tends to happen is if the hunger is there, then you still overeat, right? So say that you overate by 20 or 30%, well, that's still 300-400 calories, right? So the concern being is that leads to binging because of the hunger versus having systematic or having food throughout the day and then still going and doing that. I would rather patients be over in their calories by 300 or 400 calories on holidays,
not
right?
every day, yeah.
Yeah, and be okay with it. It's just 1 day. 1 day is not going to sabotage your efforts versus holding all your calories, right? And what tends to happen is you can easily get into that mindset down the road, right? And which could lead to binge eating, which leads to self-sabotaging and so forth like that. It's more of a negative behavior than the positive outcome of staying underneath my calories, right? I would rather you still follow through and still be over your calories. Like I said, 1 day is not going to kill you, right? Yeah, you might be up because of the salt, and you might be up because of extra food matter, right? But that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. I would rather that be okay versus playing the game of you know, in this, not to say that you're going to do this, but it could very easily lead down this road of being down the road of saying, well, I won't have that if I'm going to have my cake and ice cream later, right? I'll save all my calories to have cake and ice cream.
Oh,
right?
I see.
And I'll avoid eating nutritious things for things that are going to be higher in calorie and non-nutritious, and I don't get all the adequate nutrients, and so health-wise, it's not that good.
Not a good trade-off.
Yeah, not a good trade-off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I was just, I didn't
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to keep your calories fixed.
Right.
That's what the goal is because you want to lose weight.
Right.
And you're right. But when I'm looking at it as a long-term approach to that, that's not a good behavior to do.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I was just like, you know, and when I got to the dinner, it was like most of it was just raw vegetables, you know, and there was like I said, there's 2 items I was like I didn't even go near, and then they had key lime pie, and that's like my biggest.
And that's okay.
Yummy. And I looked at the box and it said 350 calories for a slice, which is 1/8. So I took that 1/8 and that little sliver.
Yeah.
And of course everybody got a big kick out of the fact that I had my key lime pie.
Sure. Well, I think what's important to recognize is the same behaviors that you're doing now for weight loss are going to be, you're going to need to do this during weight maintenance. The only difference is going to be the volume of food and the amount of calories that you're consuming. That is the only thing different, right? So if you could approach it that way, that, okay, I can have some key lime pie, and I had a little bit of this, and I had a little bit of that, and I didn't lose, but I didn't gain, that's what maintenance is all about.
Yeah.
Right? So it's making that decision that you can have these things and still maintain your weight.
Right.
Again, the only difference is you have to make the decision that for me to lose weight, I have to be at a certain calorie level.
Okay.
And is that piece of pie, and is that roll, and is that whatever it might have been, worth me not losing, or worth me gaining, or worth me maintaining?
Right.
If I can accept that I may gain 2 or 3 pounds, and I'm okay with that,
Yeah.
right? Then you just gave yourself the green light to have that food.
Yeah.
But you can't get into the negative thinking of, why did I do that? I blew it, and because that all or none does not work.
Right.
All or none works for weight loss for a short period, and then eventually leads to deviation of everything and self-sabotaging in the future.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, 'cause that's
So let's see where you're at today.
I'm afraid to go near that thing today.
Because we measured your metabolism last week, everything's fine. Yes, it dropped, but there's still no reason why you shouldn't be able to lose.
Yeah.
So.
Oops, I kicked your thingy. I didn't mean to kick your thingy.
And you got, I noticed your email too. You did find some green tea extract, so it was 1,000 milligrams.
Yeah, it was only. Oh yeah, that's right. Yours isn't like mine. Mine, you have to step on it and then get off.
282.8. So we're
282.8.
2 weeks in a row of maintenance. Okay.
And I was telling my husband this morning that I felt, you know, when my, you know, how I told you I lose a bunch of weight and all of a sudden I start blowing up like a balloon.
Yeah.
Which seems to be that stage where I'm at now.
What do you mean by blowing up?
I just started gaining a whole bunch of weight and can't stop. And I told him that, I said, right now, normally, right now, I was like, I feel like saying, hell, let's just have a pizza, you know, or something like that. And so it's just trying not to get frustrated and do something wrong.
Besides Easter, what are the things that you've done differently?
Well, I know the other day, our day was just so late that when it got to supper time, I didn't want to feel like eating a meal and then having the shake, so I just had a little extra on the meal and kept my calories still under.
Okay. And how many days did that happen, do you think?
Just the one.
Okay. So you're eating more substance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just that one day. Yesterday we had a heck of a time because we were at the auto shop. The plan was to take the car to the auto shop. It was supposed to take an hour or so to get that done, and then we'd go to the gym. Never got to the gym because it was 4 o'clock by the time we got out of there, something like that. It was crazy. So what we did instead is we ended up walking around the mall. We just kept walking around the mall, and we went into the grocery store, and we walk up and down the aisles and all that kind of stuff. And then as soon as my back gave out, I was like, okay, let's just sit down and rest. And we just did that until I at least got my numbers on my thing, which is now up to 7,000 instead of 6,000.
Okay.
And when we stopped to get something to eat, he got a pizza, but I got a lettuce and tomato salad. That was all that was on it. And because I had the shake, but then I didn't bring any more because I didn't think we were going to be gone that long, you know. And later in the day, we went back over to the grocery store and I bought a little thing. It's one of those little lunch snack things. It had apples and grapes and some cheese, and I shared the cheese with her. So, and that's what I had.
So this is not the atypical week that you've had in the past?
Not really. No, it's just
okay.
stuff got in the way. You know,
so so I think we have to look at a couple things why the plateau has occurred.
Okay.
Right? A couple things. One, you've increased substance intake.
Okay.
Right? When that happens, right, that means more breakdown, right? More breaking down of the food, or should I say digestive, right? Digestive of particles, right? Which therefore produces more fecal matter.
Okay.
Second thing, you're more constipated. Okay. Third thing, your activity's gone down a little bit because of that. Right? Or not because of that, but because of other life events have gotten in the way.
Yeah, it's like we're on our way to the gym and couldn't get there because.
Right. So we have to look at the whole. We have to look at these things in compartmentalize. Right. Right. Of all these things that have transpired over the past week. Right. And unfortunately, they compound. Right. So we can't look at specifically and say that, well, I didn't get more exercise, that's why I didn't lose weight. You can't look at, well, I didn't, I got more constipation because I got, not losing weight. I think that's probably the more realistic nature of what's transpired, is you're eating more substance, which therefore produces more, digestive waste matter, right? And therefore constipation, right? So naturally, if you're having these fluctuations of weight, right, it's either salt or it's fecal matter, right? And if you're keeping your salt low, then that's the only likely scenario, right? And so making sure that you're getting adequate fluid. You might want to consider taking over-the-counter, stool softener, like a Miralax, or you can even do the generic brand, those kind of things to help loosen some things up. And then I would also get into the habit of actual stool time. And that means, right, going to sit on the potty for 15 minutes once to twice a day. Regardless if you think you don't have to go. Right? Because that way you get into that rhythm with your body, and it becomes part psychosomatic that, okay, when I go, then I gotta go. Right? Versus if I just don't go because I don't feel like I gotta go, then you're gonna hold it. Right? So I think that's what we should try to do, is see if that can help actually get this weight down. Because this is 2 weeks in a row that we've hit 283 somewhere in there, and then you're not losing, if not having rebounds of gain and losing, gaining and losing, that we've got to break that cycle. So
I could pull out that tea that I had before. That sure cleaned me up. There's come to find out the senna is kind of a natural laxative type of thing, and it cleans you out. You have something to eat, and you drink that tea, and about 8 hours later, you're.
So I would encourage you to do that. I really would. The other thing too is, let's get back to what we know is working. Right?
I was trying really hard to stick with the, keep making sure I got the shakes and all that kind of stuff. On the most part, I did pretty good, I think. Even yesterday, like I hadn't had any fruit, so when we went to the grocery store, that's the reason why I bought the apple and the grapes. Because it was a prepackaged, already cut up thing. Oh, and then I did buy the yogurt too, because I normally have yogurt with it, but the container was bigger, so I ate part of that, and then I gave her the rest. So kind of helped both of us a little bit. And that's one thing she comes in handy for, is like if I get something that I shouldn't have, I just let her have it. It keeps me from having it. But I think while we were at the store, I did pretty good, and then when we got home, I had the rest of the shakes and the food bar and everything like that. And
how do you feel with losing 10%?
I feel good. I feel great.
Who else has noticed it?
Did you notice?
I told you.
No one's really noticed, or at least brought it to my attention that they noticed. My mom, when I told my mom, she says, well, you look a little thinner in the face. And that's about all she said about it. But nobody's really.
Were you expecting more?
No, not really, because, it's one of those, most people around me don't observe much of anything, so I didn't expect them to.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. What about this Biggest Loser challenge above the Air Force Base?
What, all them saying anything? They haven't said anything.
What about this, like you said you're going to go to an awards dinner, is that right?
Yeah, there's an awards dinner tomorrow at noon.
So there's an inn.
Yeah. Yeah, it just goes for like 12 weeks at the beginning of the year, every year. And their whole concept is that you lose as much as you can during Biggest Loser. And then from that point, then you just try to maintain for the rest of the year. And then the next year you
lose again.
Try to lose again. So, but of course this year I'm going to try to continue losing. So,
they also, what their objective is, more or less, is to get you into a program and wanting to and this is the start of it, and the biggest, and keep following that, and get the healthy, get out and exercise,
right,
and keep it going.
So when did this program end?
It ended, well, it ends tomorrow. Or, yeah, you mean for the year?
No, for the Biggest Loser, yeah.
Yeah, it ends this year, or tomorrow.
And it'll be, the final weigh-in was last week.
Yeah, our last weigh-in was last week, and I did.
And you did this program last year?
I've done it every year. In the first year, I lost 30 pounds, and after that, the next year, they changed the whole program, and I followed the program and gained 33 pounds. And then the next year,
And that's the one that you couldn't.
yeah, that was the one I couldn't because I just got hit by the car. And then after that, the year after that, I signed up because Annie wanted to do it, but I couldn't technically do it because I still had, the injuries were still pretty bad. And then after that, like he wanted me to sign up one year, so I signed up with him, but I didn't do a whole lot. I tried to do what I could. So this year's been the most active I've been in a long time, because I couldn't do it that much. And even this year, I'm not doing near as much as I did that first year, because it was insane. I was at the gym like every single day doing massive workouts.
Sure. Well, I almost question, since you've done these things in the past, that there's some form of possible, not overtly programs ending, so therefore I stop.
Oh, no, I didn't think that.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's the habit.
Yeah.
Right, there's a start and an end.
Right.
Right, well, you're coming up on the end, and your weight's kind of plateaued as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm bringing that up, is being in the habit of doing that in the past, where it's a 12-week start and an end, then the goal is to maintain.
Yeah.
Right, so I wonder how much it actually is part secondary to which you've been accustomed to.
No, I don't think it was that. I know, like you've told me before, that I did hit the plateau, that my metabolism has gone lower, and
but it won't prevent you from losing weight.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked at that last week.
Yeah.
Right, and yeah, you're going to hit a plateau a little bit, but then plateaus also can occur because of either dietary fatigue, decreased motivation. Maybe have a complacency. The big one I see a lot of is people start noticing the changes, and people start recognizing their changes and giving them positive affirmations, and hey, I'm feeling good, right? So it's basically stopping and smelling the roses, but then also you stopped.
The point is you stopped.
Right.
Yeah. No, I
right?
don't think I've
Where
stopped.
accept the affirmations, like, this is great, people are recognizing, now I want to keep pushing more. Right? So, but complacency is a big thing that I see a lot with patients, is that can lead to the plateaus, that a little bit less rigid here, a little bit less rigid there, and next thing you know, you're into maintenance, which is great for maintenance.
But it's not working for the loss.
Correct.
Right.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
So let's get back to 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Right, systematically, diligent, do the T.
Okay,
right?
I'll put that back in your diet.
And see if we can help.
I stopped it because I thought it was a bad thing.
Right, no.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I also want you, you're doing 2,000 milligrams of the green tea a day, 1,000 and 1,000?
Right.
Okay, alright. Send me a picture or, of the back of the label so I can see what's all in that green tea.
Okay.
Um,
I thought I did.
I got your weight, I didn't see that.
I was,
I saw the,
I
I
think-
may have saw it on my phone and I couldn't open the attachment on my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause I took a picture of the front and the label that had all the whatever's in it. And I think it was like on Wednesday or Thursday that I emailed it.
Let's see here, I think you got it. It's Thursday.
Oh, and the email thing, they changed the program on my email.
Uh-huh.
And it is a bugger to send pictures now. I had one, every time I went to send a picture, it would crash the site.
Friday. Okay, here we go. Yeah, see, I couldn't open those on my phone. Oh, here we go. Okay, I don't see a specific thing that I'm looking for in this. Let's see here.
Cause I was told that was the best one they had at the store that we went to.
Okay, but
And,
then I don't see the. I'm looking for a specific derivative of green tea called EGCG.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that.
Well, most of the time, if you just say green tea,
Mhm.
that's the reason why. It'll probably be in there, but it's percentage based.
Mhm.
So obviously, you're going to have 300 milligrams of the polyphenols that are there, and those act at some level as like some levels of antioxidants and so forth. But like 80 milligrams of caffeine,
Mhm.
that's equivalent. That's correct. It's equivalent to 3/4 cup of coffee. But I'm looking for a specific thing at green tea called EGCG. All right, and I'll show you. Let me go get some. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
GCG. You see, this is 80 right here. This is 80% polyphenols.
Mhm.
Which you have 300 milligrams of polyphenols in here, but I don't know what the EGCG content is. The reason why that's important is EGCG and catechins are really the two main derivatives of green tea that have been shown to enhance metabolic activity. And I don't know what percentage that they're getting from this. So if we take 30%, right, of 600, that's approximately 200, right? So 200 milligrams. And we do know that you need to be up at the level of approximately 500 milligrams a day. So divide that by 2 to get that thermogenic effect for about a 4 to 5 hour window. So that's why I'm having you 2,000 milligrams may be perfectly fine. And I'll kind of, unfortunately, they don't list that on here. Use what you have here.
Okay.
It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But next time when you go and get it, look for EGCG.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I want you to look for.
Okay, I need to get that down. Oh, and I'm out of this stuff.
Myonisotol?
Yeah. I ran out.
Let me see if we have some. I don't know if
Okay.
we got any in or not.
Stop that for a second.
Really shown to enhance your metabolism. So those two things alone combined, you can get anywhere between a 5 to 10% increase in thermogenic activity. And so that's why I think it's important to make sure that you're getting, obviously you're getting the caffeine, but I don't know what percentage you're getting of the EGCG.
Okay.
So just double check that.
Okay, I'll look at that.
And I can have this for you next week. We don't have any here today,
Okay.
but we can have that for you next week.
Okay.
All right.
So hang on to this to remind me. Yeah, I ran out of that yesterday just before, my last shake, so.
All right. So let's look at next week. So So let's get back to, you know, structure and so forth that you did last week, or 2 weeks ago, so that way we can get back to what we're seeing. I can do a 10:45 or 12:30.
We can do a 10:45.
These are your what's you took these today?
Yeah, this morning. I was like, hey, I got 5-inch loss.
Yeah.
What makes me happy about the hips, the measuring tape I have is only a 60-inch tape. And before, every time I measured it, it was like, okay, I'm not this far apart. Add on, and so the ends actually met up, and that kind of made me feel good.
Well, it looks like you're losing it from the waist down. And also on the biceps a little bit, and then the waist around the midsection is still staying put. So we'll just keep an eye on that.
Well, I do a lot of walking, and I've been trying to do, you know, a little bit of the weights. I can't do very much, so I've been trying to. It's like, okay, do an extra set, you know.
Okay, so I'll see you back next week.
Okay.
And then try to do the T. That helps with the bowel movements. Okay. And then implement some stool time as well. Okay. And then look for your water too. Maybe increase your water intake a little bit.
Get 9 glasses instead of 8 or something like that.
Yeah, I try additional class and see if that helps a little bit.
Okay.
And then we'll see how you are next week.
Yeah, because I was, like I said, I've been trying really hard to stick to it. It's like he said it was going to be this way, so don't panic over the scale.
Sure.
Just keep doing
but
it.
I think that's part of, a couple things is, naturally you've had some disruption this past week, plus the constipation, right? Plus what I believe is your tendency over the past, that's a start and the end, so everything comes they all compound.
Yeah.
Right? Which gets you out of your normal routine, which therefore slows that down.
Yeah.
So I think
I've
get
been
back
trying,
to.
Yeah, I even made the comment to him. I says, I was looking at my going to the gym. Granted, I've been trying to do X amount of exercise no matter what, if I'm at the gym or not, and like walk around the block a few times. But the weather, I've been loving it this last week because the weather's been so nice. I can get out and go for a walk, and so I'll go walk around a couple of miles out. I'd go for a short walk. Come home, do some work around the house, go out, do some short walk, until I got my numbers, and then, I do a little extra cleaning because I get some upper exercise, type of thing. But, like I said, when we came to going to the gym, it's like every week, it's like, we've only gone like once a week for the last couple of weeks, and we should be going at least twice a week to the gym, but it wasn't either one of our faults. It's just, something interrupted at the time that we were supposed to be going to the gym, and we have a lot of days for the gym. You know how it is with your schedule. It's like, this is the only day I can go do my wrestling. So that's what's been happening, so I've been frustrated. It's like,
well, I can understand that. So let's get back to what was working.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll add the tea.
Yep.
And I'll look at I took a picture of that thing, so I will look on the bottle and the green tea and see if it's missing.
Absolutely.
And
I'll have the Senatol next week for you.
Okay.
Okay?
And